It's working, and I don't know why I can't get my camera to work, so it's gonna have terrible image quality. I don't know what's happening with this today. Hey guys, I am Lise Colucci, and I am one of the life coaches at Queen Being. Happy Self-Love Day. How are you guys? I have it all messed up here, so I'm gonna be looking in weird angles and not at the camera. I don't know what's happening. Technology, it irritates me. Hello, everybody. I see Phoenix Fox. Hello, I am here. Mo Cowboy says, howdy. Has it begun? Is it ever? It's begun. It's begun. It's all crazy. I can't get the camera angle right. I'm gonna just even pull off that camera because it's not working. We're just using this crazy, terrible quality, and that'll be how it is today. So, how is everybody? Hello, Mo Cowboy, Life's Revival, Missy Joy. Look, you're all there. I know, I love it. All the little hearts. I wish I had pepperoni pizza too. Let's see. Life's Revival says, have you started sweet potato? Okay. You had a Mo Cowboy. I had a nice visit with my neighbor. Oh, good. Okay, you guys are just chatting. Here we go. So, hello, Steve. I just came out of a group, a very nice little group coaching session for Valentine's Day. And let's continue it on over here. What do you guys have going on? How are you doing today? And what are you doing for you? Are you able to get through this day without a lot of stress, or what's stressing you out that we can help you out with? This is really weird. I'm staring at a dot instead of my normal camera. So guys, talk to me. I don't have anything prepared today. I'm just going to come in here and see what you need. Tell me what you think. Steve says, I'm fine, I think. Good. Yeah, you sounded fine earlier, and that is great. Because keep on going with that and keep up the self focus, right? To kind of wash these people from our minds. Cook out with a friend. Hello, Jessica. James, hello. You took myself on a date to get sushi. Nice. Excellent. How was it? So for people who are struggling today, what do you guys have to offer? If you're not and you're doing great, I like some of the ideas here already. Taking yourself out to dinner, planting gardens. I'm reading back here. Talking to neighbors, getting on with life, right? It's better than sitting and dwelling. Unfortunately, that's where we are when the stress is with us. So everyone is saying hey to each other. Hey guys, so self-care, self-love, what can you do? Okay, so a lot of people today are feeling really alone and sad and hurt, and it's triggering all the memories of the abuse. So let's think of some things to help people. Mo Cowboy says, I gave myself permission to grieve, to cry a little, enjoy the wonders, and grieve still. This time not grieving for the illusion of the narc, but for the friends who have passed. Oh, that's a good way to put it. It's sort of like letting the grief that comes over actually have meaning at a certain point, right? Instead of it being about the illusion. You sent them spiritual Valentine's wishes. That's lovely. And thank them for being here with me in spirit. Aw, I like that. I like that. Did that help you feel connected to them? And does it help you connect with yourself? Because that would totally do that for me. So that's lovely. And another thing I was thinking today is that with talks of love, and the Valentine's Day spirit and all of that going around, all around you, it can be really upsetting and triggering because, first of all, it's manufactured and artificial, right? This holiday, but it's all around us and we can't completely avoid it. So taking in the fact that the love is already in you, that the love for another person is not the only love that's out there, right? We can have love for connecting with something that is an experience of love that has nothing to do with anybody else can help you to connect back to filling yourself with love, which is, to me, what self-love is all about. Let's see. Mo Cowboy says, yes, when the neighbors stopped by, I was able to cherish the time without fear. I'm still afraid of most people. That's amazing. So it kind of freed you up to have an actual exchange with your neighbor. That's great. Steve says, yes, it's weird having my own thoughts, isn't it? And Missy Joy, in addition to the addiction is so real and hard to let go of the obsessive thoughts. Say more, Missy. Missy, sorry. Say more, Missy. What's going on with that? You feel like you can't stop thinking about the relationship, the narc, and all of that. And so it feels like it's true. It's an addiction. And then what happens is we get addicted to the whole cycle. I mean, even the abuse is addictive in a sense, and that sounds terrible, but really, the whole anxiety, fear, push pull thing that goes on becomes this overwhelming feeling, right? And then the only thing that relieves it is just a small connection back to the person who created it. So you're right, it's a total addiction. It's and then trauma bonds are real, they're really powerful. How long have you been without the narc, Missy? Hey, I saved $100. That's great. Memories, the memories. Okay. Yeah, the memories are. So how long have you been away from them? He was always great on Valentine's Day. He left in 2017. Okay, so long enough in a sense. I mean, it's healing takes the time it takes to heal, and each person is individual, but long enough where you can start perhaps this year, you can try this, I don't know, to create something for yourself. So it's okay today to have that happening and just realize it's a triggering day for a lot of people, and especially if your life is not where you want it to be at this point in time, you know what I'm saying? It's to then think about what you do want and think about things that you can put into place to help for next year and to help for tomorrow, even where you can create something for yourself that changes this into, instead of a day where you feel triggered, a day where you get to pamper yourself, or a day where you get to enjoy your friends, or whatever it is you want to do. Basically create your own rituals around it. Same like you would at any holiday, but really this one's such a weird one because it really is not a real holiday. It's more like, I don't know, something the card companies created to make us feel bad, right? You either feel guilt for not giving a card, or you feel artificial fairy tale love over whatever. It's a weird holiday. So he and if he was really great at it, then he used it as an opportunity to love bomb you. And I love the chocolate too. And half price, most likely half price tomorrow. Check it out. Anywhere you go, look for the chocolate sales and get yourself some chocolate. But creating something for yourself for a way to reclaim this day for next year. Does that make sense? Or for the years following? Because every year you don't need to go into this. You just don't. You can begin to create cycles that get you away from that looping what did you call it? Pervasive thoughts, or the obsessive thinking. Steve says if we blocked each other, it's NC times 2. Yes. Yes. Reese's peanut butter cups is Life Revival. Exactly. Whatever you like. The store by my house has like 30% off chocolate right now. And I think it goes lower tomorrow. So like all the chocolate all month. Corporations are narcs by definition. Often, yeah, they're using us for money and enjoyment, educating guilt if we don't spend money. Evil laughter. James is questioning people. I don't know why. Okay. So anyone else have anything that's going on that they want to, or Missy, do you have more? Is anything I'm saying useful to you or helpful? Or do you have any questions about what I'm saying and ways to help you personally get out of this so that you can move on? Frank and Doll, I'm still in the home with the narc. It's awkward, sad, and lonely. I came home to him telling me to go F myself within 5 minutes of walking in the door. I am so sorry. That's not pleasant. What can you do to help yourself right now? Can you get some time to yourself for the rest of the evening at all? Can you even just like get a hot shower or a hot bath or something that feels nice to you? The sad and lonely when you're with a narc is like part of being with a narc. It really is. With a toxic person that has no way of really truly connecting with you, that sad and lonely it's part of life with them. And when you're not with them, the sad and lonely is a different feeling, but it's way better than the sad and lonely when you're with them. There's nothing worse than being alone when you're with someone. Um, and then, the abusive language he's using with you. Are you planning to get out? What do you need help with? What can I help you? What can I offer you here? Let's see. Narcs love to create guilt in their targets. They sure do. Misty says, I have trouble doing for myself. I'm more of a giver. Okay, you picture yourself as someone else, Missy. Picture yourself as a being who needs help. You need the giving that you have to give. You need some of it. You need some of it to be going back to you. Just, if you can visualize you can maybe close your eyes and visualize yourself sitting there and like looking at yourself from a distance, and picture yourself as somebody else and ask what she needs. There's little techniques to help you get into that, so that you can see yourself as a person worthy of someone to give to, right? Because you are. And we have to be able to give to ourselves in order to give to others. We have to give back to ourselves. It's just kind of, we got to fill ourselves back up. So it's not, what do you think stops you? Is it some kind of guilt or shame, or what stops you? Jessica, your birthday's tomorrow, and you're trying not to ruin it with his new, and I'm trying not to ruin it with his new supply. Okay, what are you going to do for yourself, Jessica? What are you going to do for you on your birthday that has nothing to do with him? And how can we get your head away from him, at least for the day, so that you can focus on you, right? Mo Cowboy says, yes, the last one, are my chats not showed. I'm seeing your chats. At least I'm seeing some of them. You like that idea? Thank you. Yes, you're a human being who matters, Missy. So you can picture yourself like that and give yourself some of the giving that you have. Also, another one that I tell people often is to pay attention to what you're already giving to yourself. In your day, you do things for yourself, like you take a shower, you eat, you drive yourself places, get dressed, all those things we already do. Pay attention to the fact that you are doing it for yourself, even if it's just taking note in your head saying, oh, I just took a shower, that was for me. And put it back so that you realize that self-care is part of living. I mean, it needs to become a lifestyle so that you can keep replenishing yourself as you go through your day. It has nothing to do with selfishness and all that. It has to do with replenishing and caring for yourself. Really, it's nurturing. So sometimes just paying attention to those little things means you can start adding in little extras, and that can be a way to help you get back to yourself. James was saying hi, but we didn't see him. I think I saw you, James. How are you? Everyone's saying hi to you now. Alicia, hello. Alicia Flowers says, I had a great day until I got off work and saw the narc car near the lot where you ran back in because seeing her gives me really bad anxiety. Yeah, that's so okay. What do you do once you have the anxiety? Because now it's happened, right? So we got to learn to recover from these triggers and move forward so that we're not carrying the past into tomorrow, if that makes sense. So what did you do, or what do you need help with there to help you calm down, or are you still shaken up, Alicia? The question was confusing. Frankendoll, I can't wait to leave. I just realized what he is after trying everything under the sun to fix myself, thinking it was me. Yeah, that's the way it is, right? I've wasted 20 years, so humiliating. I'm learning though. You know what? Try to take that humiliation and see it as a learning thing for growth in your life instead of humiliation, because we can't know what we didn't know, and you don't want to beat yourself up for something you didn't know. And even then you do know now, the inability to escape quickly is very normal. It's not many people who just realize it and just take off, it takes time, and it takes being ready, and it takes a lot of planning, especially if it's been 20 years. So give yourself some slack there and keep the support going. If you're not in SPAN, that's a good place to start. If you need a coaching group, there is a trauma bond coaching group and a self-care coaching group that could help you, navigate through it as you're preparing to leave. And in the very least, keep coming and checking in here, but keep yourself involved with survivors, because that helps get your energy up, and it helps you not slip back under and not blame yourself. And that's really important. Let's see. Okay. Hello, Misty. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. That's Misty Dawn. We're all being kind to Frankendoll. Is it Franken? Is Fersken? Am I saying it right? Frankendoll. Okay. Sorry. All right. Anybody else? Yes, you are in span. Good. Yes, I hope that helps you. And I'm on here. Angie does her live streams. I do these twice a week. So keep up with the support. I think that will help you. You're a special effects artist. Oh, that's cool. Okay, now I want pictures. Post some in span. Now I want to see. So anybody else have anything going on today they want to talk about? I will, whoops, sorry. I'm not used to using this. I don't know why my camera didn't work. I'm not used to this stupid laptop camera that I can, looking all over the place. All right. Yeah, so the self-care piece is kind of where we're at today, the self-care and the self-love. Here, Angie's video today about exclusion was spot on. I haven't seen it yet. I will watch that later. I should watch them beforehand because people bring them up and then I haven't seen them and I really should watch them ahead of time. Sorry, he popped up today. Says Mo Cowboy, ignoring and taking control by walking away is good, yet still triggers so much. Sorry, he did that to you. Yeah, oh good. Alicia says, it was she, I think, right? I'm still shaken up. Finally got a fellow employee to check for her car and walk me out. Their situations leave me upset for days. Okay, so this is a good place to look at because anything that leaves you upset for days, it's totally normal and natural for it to, because what happens is we go right back. Exposure is like poison. And it throws you back into the trauma bonded state in a sense. It throws you into the wherever you're at with your own healing. It throws you it feels like it sends you backwards in your healing. So triggers, what happens in a trigger when you have a trigger like this kind is you have a massive adrenaline surge. You have not only an adrenaline surge, it also probably spikes your dopamine. It has like a lot of chemical reaction in your body. And when you have a massive adrenaline surge and you start shaking and you start getting nervous and anxious, you got to move that energy through you or in the very least understand what's happening so that you can realize that, because what happens is if you feel anxious, right? So if you feel anxious about a situation, so a situation just happens, you see her car, you feel anxious from seeing her car, right? And then you have the sensation of anxiety in your body. You go and you run away and you get away. And you can't stop shaking and you feel shaken up and you feel nervous. And then we start thinking about why we feel nervous. And it brings us back to the thought of them in the car. And then it makes more adrenaline in our body. And then we start feeling the adrenaline. And then we think back, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like a looping cycle. So understanding that this is just an adrenaline release. You had an experience that created an adrenaline release. And now you're going to do something else, right? So shift your focus away from her and onto yourself. Use the energy, clean something, move around, take a walk, go to the gym, whatever it is you like to do or can do, for yourself, move that energy and understand once you have an adrenaline surge, it's like you have to move it out of you. It doesn't just go away. It's like, you can't take, triple espresso and not feel ramped up, right? You got to wait for that to go away. So it's the same thing. It was a chemical release in your body that happened from seeing. There's also the emotional stuff, but just looking at the body by yourself, you can sometimes work your way through the trigger and not keep identifying so much with what caused the trigger. Just experience what's happening in your body. And then hopefully, Steve says, yes, I'm running on a treadmill, right? Things like that can help you, because otherwise we keep thinking back to them and then we're expecting. It's like it creates anticipatory anxiety that we don't need, right? So I think I'm rambling, but that's my point. Misty says the flying monkeys have not given up. I'm sorry, Misty. Mo Cowboy, it triggers a neurochemical cocktail to be released in our brains. We have no control over the amount of mixture. Recognizing the feelings are normal. Breathe and allow them to pass. Exactly. It's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah. Everything Lisa's saying. Hug trees and pet plants. Right. Yep. Taking a walk, getting in nature, things that help you release the chemical reaction that happens. And it's a really strong one with narcissistic and toxic people. It's a really strong chemical reaction that happens. So, um, and also pay attention when you do feel calm. Like if you feel a little calmer, just feel glad about it. Don't worry about the anxiety coming back. Just try to like get into the moments that you feel okay. Because the hope would be to have a trigger and have it last minutes rather than days. Right? We're going to have triggers. They happen in life and they just do. And the hope would be to have it last the duration of the first rush of chemicals in your body instead of creating more chemicals because we're thinking about the thing. You know what I'm saying? It creates like a vicious cycle. So James says, I celebrate being free from the chaos my ex caused. I celebrate that with you, my friend. That's awesome. Let's see. Is that what you did with the sushi? Celebrating. Lise Revival, Flying Monkeys, an ongoing smear campaign. Ugh, that's right. Mo Cowboy, whatever works for you to soothe yourself in a healthy manner. I used to use food and alcohol, not healthy way. Exactly. Healthy and sane and sound and safe is the ideal. All right. Try some of those suggestions. Yes. Thank you, Alicia. That's, yeah. And let me know if that helps you. It's an indication into what will help you. You know, it might be some of us need to talk ourselves through more, some of us, but I really think the body is, we forget about it a lot. And it's the thing that's in reaction, the fast, you know, it goes into reaction. So we need to acknowledge it and at least honor that for a few minutes. I think it helps. It's Miss C. Joy says, it's unbelievable how they reframe things to make you out to be the problem, isn't it? It's, at that point, it's so not worth even having a discussion with them about anything because there is no winning that, no matter what. There's no, not even winning. There's no equality in that, right? James says, yes, it's got to be healthy. Life survival. Yes, food for me is becoming a problem. I think being cold outside, I'm not working it off, waiting for spring. Yeah, it happens, right? Alicia says, I love Mo Cowboy. I love hugging trees and petting plants. Your daughter's birthday was yesterday. I had a birthday kid yesterday too. You need to go walk in nature soon, says James. Yes, you do. It's good for you. It is. So what else, you guys? What's going on? What can I help with? Or what do you want to talk about? I will keep rambling about this stuff. And again, sorry, my camera's weird today. It was a 12-year birthday. Mine was a 19-year birthday. Oh, yeah. Any excuses used? That's right. Life survival. Mo Cowboy says, yay, James does a happy dance celebrating. And movement can also release endorphins to soothe in a healthy manner. It sure can. Movement is great for that. And that's the point, is like the endorphins kick in and it changes the ratio of, you know, cortisol and all the other stuff that's making you feel bad in your body. And it really helps balance you. So that's good. James says, there were days I didn't eat much. I'm the type that when depressed, I don't have an appetite. In the beginning, yeah, that happens. That's when you lose weight, and then later you get stressed and eat and gain the weight. Happy birthday to both the kids. Thank you. You're normally always hungry. Yeah, it's interesting. And that, again, is when you have coursing adrenaline in your system and raised cortisol, it doesn't feel good in the body. It makes you just not hungry and usually have a stomach ache. Okay, you guys, anything else you want to talk about today? I'm here to hit me up with questions. In fact, give me lots of questions so I can just ramble at you. How do we make people understand the trauma bond? Good question. My dad had no patience for me when I was like, move on. I don't know that you can make people understand the trauma bond if they've never experienced it. You can explain it. Okay. So the most important thing is to seek support from people who do understand. And understand that some people won't get it. And that in their good intentions, they're going to say things that make it worse, like just move on or stop wallowing or you're full of self-pity or whatever people say, that is completely not useful when you're trauma bonded. So having support in places, it's knowing who to go to for the support that you need at the time. Helping people understand, sometimes that comes in retrospect, like later saying, hey, Dad, when I was going through that, this is what it felt like. Because when you're in the moment, that's super hard because you just need support. You don't want to have to explain what it is you need. You just need people to understand. So again, I'd say, showing them videos on what trauma bonding is might help. But it's a really tough one for people to get, especially people who have a higher self-esteem or low tolerance for other people treating them poorly. They just don't get it. They think, why don't you just move on? It's not worth it. Or very logical people, it can be really hard to explain. So it depends who you're talking to. But again, knowing that there is support out there and going to the support that is understanding and validating for the situation that you're in is super important for you. James, okay. Oh, so my body was in self-protect with raised cortisol. It was in stress and trauma and shock probably at the discard. And yeah, the cortisol raises, the adrenaline raises, the dopamine drops, everything, you feel awful when that happens. And I don't know, anxiety like that makes me not hungry. I don't, excuse me. I think they have to have gone through it, says Misty Dawn. I think most people have to. I've explained it to people that I know personally, and they get it to an extent. They say they get it to the point where they go, wow, that must be really hard to live through. But that doesn't mean they actually get it or would know how to support someone while they're in it, right? That makes sense. I'm talking about trauma bonds. And I've explained it pretty well to people who are very open-minded and they kind of get it. So it's a tricky one. Missy Joyce, stop being a victim. Okay. That's when you can say, Dad, I'm not being a victim. I'm a survivor. That's, it's a simple way to put and being a survivor, I have to go through what I'm going through in order to heal. Sometimes explaining it from your position instead of explaining it from what was done to you might help if you want people to stop saying things like that. And again, like I said, going to a source for support that actually can support you versus somebody that loves you but and is well-meaning but doesn't have the tools to help you. Let's see. Steve says one of the big one my guy friends said, more fish in the sea. They didn't understand how I felt. Right. And it's true, right? There's more women out there. Of course there are. Or men out there. Of course there are. But the point is there's an addictive quality to this and there's trauma bonding and it's very difficult. They think you're ridiculous. Yeah. I think, yeah, Steve says it felt like a heroin addictive. Yeah, it does. It feels like a drug addiction. Just leave always upset me extra. Exactly. It's very upsetting and very invalidating to be told those things. And again, that's why we have peer support, coaching support, and all the support we offer, because it's what gets people out. Being told just leave or you're ridiculous does not help you heal, unfortunately, even if it's from well-meaning people. So make sure you listen to and take in when you do feel validated. And actually, Missy, acknowledging when you do feel validated from other sources might help counterbalance the lack of understanding from the people who are well-meaning but not giving you what you need. Does that make sense? Like paying attention to where you do feel validated and heard. And I don't know, having some sort of gratitude for that, if that makes sense, rather than focusing on what you can't get from the people you need it from. Because honestly, some people just can't, a lot of people just can't get it. So let's see, I wish I'd recorded more around that time just to document how I felt. You did what you needed to do though, James, right? For yourself in the moment. It's the way it is. Steve says, I'm happy that I found you guys and that I understood my on Span page. Thank you. I'm glad you did too. I'm glad when people get the help they need. Live survival, yes, shocked and numb. Whoops, it just jumped. Missy, I found Angie in 2016 when I searched why can't I stop crying. I love Angie and Lise. Let's see here. James, the Broviver, and numb is normal response to trauma. Numb's a totally normal response to trauma. It's what allows you to process the trauma. Otherwise, you have so much at once. I don't know. You might not be able to function at all, right? Let's see. Span has been a lifesaver, says Alicia. That's good. That's an excellent thing to hear because that's what it's for. There are a lot of Brovivers. There really are. There's a lot of survivors of both genders. There's a lot of survivors who have survived male and female narcs of all lifestyles and all kinds, right? So life survival, James, you don't want to feel the pain again. You're finally past it. Don't go backwards. That's true. I mean, well, sometimes we got to feel it a little bit, I would say, but not going backwards into it. Yeah, that's right. Missy Joy, you still cry every day. From 2016, I'm sorry, love that. So you've been out for a couple years now, right? It's what it's coming on. What do you do to focus your life onto yourself? It can become a point where it's not like just get over it because you can't, right? So making a choice to move forward is, how do I put this? For me, it's seeking positivity in the moment and seeking out the things. I'm like way up in the camera. Sorry. Seeking out the things that help you feel like yourself, right? And is there anything that it's okay to cry every day, but are you finding joy every day? If you're not, start looking for it, Missy. Start looking for little pieces of happiness, little pieces of joy, little pieces of things that make you feel like yourself everywhere. Look all over the place and take note of it. And then you'll see that it's a balance. I mean, it is okay to grieve as long as you need to grieve. And at the same time, we can make a choice to move forward. But it's effort, right? So I don't know if that makes any sense. Let's see. James says, yeah, I didn't because I felt I'd cry a lot in the evening video and it would be too hard to talk about. So you're right, Lise. I did what I did for survival, literally. Exactly. It's not like we can look in retrospect and be like, or like look in the future and say, oh, if I recorded this, it'll be really useful later. Yeah. It doesn't. Where we are when we are in that kind of crisis is in a deep dark place. So Life Survival says she's sorry to hear that you're crying every day and she wishes you strength and peace, Missy. James, I decided to start living my life again and not let her waste any more of my time. Right. It's a decision. It's hard to say that without sounding like I'm saying exactly what everyone else said, but it's a decision and it's a hard one because you have to battle against the feelings of that we're talking about, against the trauma bonded feelings, against the pain, while you're making a decision for something else. But it starts to get easier. Mo Cowboy, yep, the move through the pain rather than fight the pain, which adds to the pain. Exactly. I finally figured out mindfulness to allow the pain back and move through the pain and not back into the pain. Exactly. That's exactly it. Good video idea, finding joy. I talk about that every week in here, James. That's what I do. I try to remember it's okay to cry and remember. I just don't invite the thoughts in for coffee. Good. Yes, it is okay to cry. We're human beings and we have emotions and it's okay to feel them. But really, Missy, if you can look for the good, I'm sure you do already, but really taking note for yourself and paying attention to it can help you. So how can I explain this? The empty feeling, the loss, the grief, the feeling of a giant hole in your heart or something in your life that's missing. Is that kind of, am I hitting it there at all? Am I making sense? Okay, that feeling can be the perfect place to create. The way I see it is like a container, a place to hold the love that you already feel. Okay, so I'm not talking about love for another person. I'm talking about love for life. And that love for that you already feel can begin to fill in that place that has been left from the grief and the pain and the abuse. I don't even know how to word this right. I do it through mindfulness, and I do it through intention of where I want to direct my thoughts. So, in other words, if I'm feeling really like you're describing, Missy, I will consider the things that have brought me joy, and I will try to get myself to feel that. Have you ever felt like everything's okay and everything's awful at the same time? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. And when you can get to that place where you can feel both things, it's like making a choice to believe in the positive in that moment helps fill in that pain, if that makes any sense. And I can kind of visualize like holding my hands out to hold the love a little bit closer to myself instead of just having the thoughts of I have no one to love or I have nowhere to put this, that it's inviting in better thoughts while you're feeling positivity and also feeling the sadness at the same time can help. Am I making any sense? I think I'm rambling, but anyway. Let's see. Mo Cowboy, I think I read that. Misty Dawn says, I named 10 things I'm grateful for and 5 things I love about myself and pull myself out of that dark place. That's a very simple way of putting, or not a simple way, a very succinct way of putting what I was describing in an esoteric way. Let's see. I think, oops, I'm going crazy. Where'd it go? Gratitude journal sounds wonderful. Frangendal, yes, I would start that, especially as you are still in the thick of the relationship and you're trying to get out. Keeping some sense of positivity, because otherwise, as you're leaving, there's nowhere to go, right? So you want to aim toward the positivity. It's never going to be with a narc. It's always going to be in directions away from them. So paying attention to the things you're grateful for can help, build that within yourself. So you have somewhere, some foundation for it inside of yourself. Let's see. I think I'm missing being calm in the middle of a storm. Yes, being calm in the middle of a storm. And also welcoming, if you're feeling sad, welcoming in the positive at the same time. We don't want to do it sometimes. We want to just like sit in the sad, but does it? I'm glad it makes sense, because I think I don't even know how to talk about that. Mo Cowboy says, indeed, James, they still try to shame and guilt. Weird society. I'm delicate too. If you don't believe me, I will beat the crap out of you until you tell me I'm delicate or walk away, right? Misty Joy, I try to stay focused in the present. That's helpful too. Yeah. So you have some coping skills, and increasing them as you go can help. What do you want for your life, Missy? That would be another question I'd ask myself. What do I want for myself? And then how can I point myself in the direction to achieve that? Right? Well, you can sit in the sad, just don't get stuck. Let it pass. Exactly. We got to feel it once in a while, right? That's how we heal it. So, and I think we were talking before about the numb thing, right? Sometimes when we go numb, it just takes a while for the feelings to all slowly come out. You want to gain your self-worth back. Okay, then start believing you have it for real. Start telling yourself you have it. Sometimes the way to change is changing perspectives, right? I mean, that's a huge way to change, is to change your perspective. So if you're telling yourself, I need self-worth, I need self-love, I don't know how to get it. Well, it really can just be a matter of saying, I have self-worth and I have self-love. It's a perspective shift. You can, in coaching groups, I do some NLP exercises that help with that type of thing, to help refocus and shift beliefs onto Can't really do it here because I'd need to actually talk to you, but there's help out there for that. Fake it till you make it. Not so much. Sometimes yes, a little bit, right? But I'm all about believability, and I'm all about personally. I think it's gaining a new perspective can mean so we have a narrow perspective of how we see things. It's like a little box we keep our perspective in. It's stepping back and widening the frame so that you can see there's other possibilities. Does that make sense? And then once you see there's other possibilities for your life, you can realize you already have, if you want something enough, if you want that self-worth, it's already there because it's the thing screaming to be seen. Is that making any sense? Sort of like saying, I want to love myself. Well, you're already filled with love. You know how to love other people. You know how to love an animal. You know how to love nature. You know that it's not you loving, the love's already in you. It's just a matter of directing it towards yourself. Does that make sense? Totally different perspective than trying to find a way to convince yourself you're lovable is a different situation. But accepting that the love is there to give to yourself can help sort of get you in that direction. Does that make sense? You used to be so outgoing and sparkle like it was contagious. So tell yourself, I am outgoing. I'm not saying fake it. If you have experienced it once in your life, Missy, you are that thing. You are, that is who you are. I mean, that's a piece of who you are. It isn't all of who you are. So to say I used to be outgoing and sparkle, I try to visualize that and write a paragraph about what that is like, but do it from the feeling. Like get yourself in that feeling and then write a paragraph of what that's like. And then use that paragraph every day to remember who that Missy is. And don't attach back to, but I'm not now. Like no negative. It's all positive, and you keep it going. Keep it moving forward. Let's see. It will come back. Just give it time and take easy on yourself. And that's part two. This isn't a forced thing, but we do have to take some action to sort of shift perspective in order to keep moving forward, right? Mo Cowboy, I'm halfway through a self-esteem workbook. It's helping me. It was a book club book a couple months ago. Let's see. Okay. Everyone is convinced that your sparkles will come back, Missy, and I am too. Let's see. Journaling is amazing. Says, okay, Freedom, hello. Glad you are here. At least she says at work, started sitting in at break time with employees and hear stories of emotional and verbal abuse. And I try to give advice from what I've experienced and what others have taught. Yes, isn't that interesting how it comes up and then we're able to give back? It's great. It's a self-esteem book from the book club, James, is what Mo Cowboy's talking about. Excuse me. It's a lovely book, says James. Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about? I've got a few minutes here and then I have to head out for the night. Sounds like you guys are taking care of yourselves, and I'm glad to hear it because this is just another one of those days we need a little extra, right? Sometimes, and it helps to refocus onto yourself. You're welcome, Steve. Anybody have anything they want to talk about before I head out? I'm glad you had this, Lise. You're welcome. And it was just fortunate that it's the normal time of year, but I would have done it anyway. Okay, we're talking about the book still. Yeah. I mean, self-esteem. Missy, if you the self-care group coaching also might help you. Self-esteem's a big piece of it, and how you get there can, so if you're interested in that, you can look that up too. What should people do today, Lise, for self-care? I think it depends on the person, right? And what little pampering, a little acknowledging that you're worth something, a little chocolate, a little whatever makes you feel like you're cared for. And special V-Day edition, says James. You're welcome, everybody. It's a basic self-care book, in other words. Okay. Got myself, self-care to me, the way I see it is a lifestyle, and then there are days like today, your birthday, holidays, anything like that, anniversaries, where we got to ramp it up and be a little more nurturing, a little more pampering. Um, I'm trying to think what I've done. I I haven't done a lot. Haven't felt um I knew I had to work, so I was like, what am I going to do? I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow I am buying myself half price flowers because I know they will be, and chocolate. And that is what I'm doing. And those are just pampering things. Honestly, I took a nap. What else did I do? Took a really long walk in the rain. Chocolate. Yes, you see. Um, things that things that nurture you and make you feel alive, right? I mean, the whole point is living your life and not being stuck in this trauma. So I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Just the basic stuff, really. Just keep on going, but add in a little extra pampering if you feel you want it today or this week or whatever. We turned your day around. Excellent. I'm so glad, Frankendoll, and I do want to see pictures of the special effects. So many blessings your way and so much love to all of us. Happy Valentine's. That's lovely. Chocolate is life. Yes, it is. What kind? What kind of chocolate do you like? We should just talk about chocolate. Chocolate. I'm gonna get some bath fizzies, bath fizzies. That sounds good. You see, you got it. It's just steps, right? Over and over. Keep moving forward, and um, taking care of yourself. Let's see, Hershey's. I've got. Oh my gosh, is it Tony's something chocolate. They're just so good. They're so crazy good. I'm resisting buying one, but I think I might tomorrow. Anyway, and Reese's. Okay, freedom. I don't share much personal things, but let them know I relate. Most of them are showering me with compliments on my work. I'm trying not to think they will stab me in the back. I'm going to light I don't know, it cut out. She's going to light something. We'll come back to that. No chocolate. I'm a food addict. Made myself broccoli. See, broccoli works too. And especially if you know that self-care for you means healthy food, all the better. We will stop talking about chocolate now. We'll talk about vegetables. So yesterday, this is so fun. About 11 o'clock at night, my 19-year-old comes knocking on my door, super excited. His friend dropped over a giant bouquet made entirely of vegetables for him. She put it all together, so cute. She like put skewers in and put the vegetables in, she put it in this giant container, and it was hilarious and so adorable. Anyway, vegetables, you see, they can be fun too. Yeah, and in doing what you need for yourself, like you're talking about there, that's the self-care I'm talking about. If you know that you're a food addict and you cannot be around that, then don't. Do something that's right for you. We ate well today. Gift to me. I'm worth it. You sure are. We're talking about chocolate, which I'm not going to talk about anymore here. And freedom, it's so great that you are able to share your experience enough to where it feels like it's helping people and leading people to the help they need. So I'm glad for that. Let's see, anything else? Okay, you guys. You're gonna go light the fireplace and eat some chocolate. sorry, Mo, we're eating chocolate. I'll eat some broccoli too. Chocolate and broccoli doesn't sound right, but that's okay. Mocab, I ate balanced, following the eating suggestion for self-esteem workbook, healthy protein and carbohydrate, not just the broccoli. Of course you did, but I get your point. Eating healthy, and that's what I do. I try not to eat a lot of. I try to eat healthy versus spoil myself, so to speak, with too much sugar and unhealthy things, because then I just don't feel good. And if I eat healthy, then I feel better. And that is actually self-care versus self-sabotage. You have to be careful with the pampering, I think, in all ways, or balanced, be more balanced with the pampering. and the self-care combined. Like, it's okay if I have a little bit of chocolate, but not the whole thing. Chocolate covered broccoli and deep fried broccoli are food addict, right? You can choose not to destroy any healthy food. That's so funny. You watch beauty channels and narc channels. Okay. La 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 la. A lot of healthy and a little chocolate. Exactly. A lot of healthy and a little chocolate. Or dark chocolate that doesn't have a lot of sugar. It's not so bad. Pears and strawberries. Yum. Hi, Dina. I'm about to head out here. You guys, anything else? I'm going to go in just a minute and wish you all a happy Valentine's self-care day. Be back Tuesday, if not before. If I do one in between, it will be extra. I don't know yet, but otherwise Tuesday at 4:30. It does sound good, doesn't it? No dark chocolate. Yuck. Depends on who you are, I guess. You're welcome, James. Nita Modley's cough, cough, hint. Oh, it's not that I don't need you. I do need you, James. It's that I haven't gone on and figured out how to make that happen yet. And I know you sent me a link and I will look at it. It's just been a busy week. You're welcome, Missy. You take care. Talk to you soon, Misty. No sniffles, James. You're needed. Don't worry. I just got to figure it out. Obviously, I couldn't even get the camera to work today, so if that's saying something, I don't know. Have James co-host, please. Can't do that. Sorry. I can't. I don't have the ability to do that at this point in time. Co-hosting is in the future, but not right now because it's the way it's set up. So the way it's set up and the cost involved. So thank you, Freedom. Dina just got here. Thank you. We'll watch replay. Happy Valentine's Day. How you doing, Dina? I have like a minute. If you have anything you wanted to talk about, you can go ahead and ask before I head out. But otherwise, watch the replay. I is smart, I is important. See, you got it. That's the way to talk to yourself. Sweet baby James. Everyone's loving you, James. You're getting all the love here. That's good. Let's see. I'm waiting to see if Dina has anything. Otherwise, I'm going to head out since she just got here. Okay. I don't see it. He was totally kidding, y'all. All right, guys. You take care. I will see you Tuesday. Oops. See, I can't do that. I got to find it. I've got to okay, we'll do it this way. All right. Bye.